Today, we're going to be doing the horse stance. Very simple isometric hold. This is one of the most fundamental stances in Kung Fu. It's amazing strengthening routine, but it's taught wrong all over the place. So I'm here to dispel some of the myths and show you how to do this more properly, so you get the most benefit for it. So when we start, stand nice and tall. Like everything, the spine is lengthening, the chin will slightly tuck. You're going to feel the tongue against the roof of the mouth. The lower hips are going to tuck ever so slightly, not overly excessive, just very gentle until you feel your spine get nice and stacked over the thoracic and the cervical. You want your spine to feel like it's getting longer between each segment. As your body gets nice and tall, you want your shoulders to be able to settle into a nice position that feels relaxed and not forced. And as you're finally settling into this, what you're going to do is step out roughly 1.5 times shoulder width and drop into a horse. Now, this positioning is going to vary from person to person and vary as you start unraveling all the adhesions and increasing your flexibility and mobility that you have access to. So at first, be kind to yourself and just kind of pick something that works and feel into it. The goal eventually is to be, if this was my shoulder width, I'm going to take one pivot out, two pivot out, boom. Okay, so in this position roughly, again, let me show you that. It makes a little bit more sense. Shoulder width, pivot both feet, and go out. Now, I can drop down into my horse and it should create a box shape. All right, and so in this position, what you want to do is get down until your knees are at a 90-degree angle, your thighs are parallel to the ground, and the spine is straight. A lot of people do this. A lot of people turn their feet outwards to make more space. This is preventing the coiling motion necessary and making this into an isolated workout of the glutes, which isn't ideal, because what we're trying to do is create a functional entire body coiling explosive capacity. This is going to limit that coiling capacity and just train one muscle group. Great if you have an injury in that area, but if we're actually trying to target something specific, we don't want to worry about that. So feet are going to be forwards the same way we're facing, grabbing the ground through the 3 nails, ball of the foot, pinky, and heel, under the ball of the big toe, sorry. You're going to grab those spaces. It's going to create an arch under the feet. The knees are going to coil outwards. The glutes are going to squeeze, coil up underneath. The spine is going to lengthen and the hips are going to open. So in this position, what you're going to see is a nice, tall, strong spine. Knees are going to be open. Feet are going to be grabbing the ground. Glutes are going to be squeezing up and underneath. Everything is going to be nice and tall. And you're going to be nice and strong. You're going to hold this position, breathe deep into the diaphragm, feeling the spine lengthening, feeling the hips opening. Eventually, the goal is to get into this position in a way that you can actually hold it in a structural way, not a muscular way. At first, it's going to be very muscle dominant. You're going to fatigue out of this within 15, 30 seconds. If you can get to a minute, that's already really impressive, or you're just not doing it right. When you start doing this correctly, you're going to be very muscle dominant and you're going to fatigue really, really fast. And over time, you're going to be able to start turning off the muscles that are doing it, finding your position, and you're going to be able to hold it longer and longer, because this is about learning how to use chi instead of muscles. All right, so that's the position. From the side, what you're going to see is I'm not leaning over. All right, I am standing nice and tall. My spine is in line with my heels. My back is nice and tall. I'm not hunched. I'm not coiled. Everything's really strong. My butt's not sticking out to counterweight. You want to keep everything nice and controlled, okay? When learning, you can hold the hands out in front of you like you're giving somebody a hug. That'll help counterbalance, but don't do the whole thing like that. Try to hold with your hands on your waist without pushing your hands down, just to get used to the motion, figuring out where you're at. And then if you start fatiguing, put your hands out to start counterbalancing, shifting, and everything. Okay? I think that's a pretty good basics. We'll leave it at that. We'll get into more of the advanced stuff later. Until next time, stay uncomfortable, my friends.